Welcome to Big Bear Lake, Southern California. Would you believe that these amazing views are only 3.5 hours from Vegas? I didn't even know that this place existed, and I've personally never even seen YouTube videos from here. And I'll tell you what, this lake is absolutely amazing. This video is going to show you everything from what the city looks like, the restaurants and bars, to how much beautiful scenery there is out here, to even how great the fishing can be out here on beautiful Big Bear Lake. It's good to start where it all began. So the whole story starts around 1845 when Benjamin Davis Wilson went looking for a group of bandits who stole some of his livestock, and it drove him up actually into the valley. He described the valley as loaded with wildlife, especially grizzly bears. So he actually named it Big Bear Valley. And around 1860, William Holcomb shot one of those grizzly bears, and he was blood trailing it, and it made him cross a creek where he found gold. The area boomed. There was a lot of miners in the area. It wasn't until about 1884 when the first dam was built, and it created the biggest man-made lake in the world. The problem was it kept running dry, so in about the 1910s a new dam was finished, and that caused the water levels to stay a little bit more stable. It became a very popular tourist destination amongst Hollywood celebrities, which obviously made everyone else want to go there, and that's kind of where we're at with current day Big Bear Lake.
This is home sweet home for the next couple days. There's no AC because up here where we're at, it stays cold, elevation about 6,800. Look at this view. It's beautiful. Gonna be doing some bass fishing there for the next couple days. That should be fun. Pretty sure there's gonna be bass along those docks. What do you think?
Oh yeah, in the rock piles docks.
It should be deep because it's so cold.
It should just be good fishing overall, I think.
So we're actually staying up there on the second story. I like all these wood carvings. I'd like to get one of these for the house. I'm really liking Big Bear. Just a beautiful place overall. So out here by our hotel, they actually gave us one of these slips right here if we want to keep our boat there. Oh, you took the scales off of it then?
Everything, nothing inside, but they still muscle memory. They still like.
Oh, okay.
It's not too humanitarian, but what can we do?
Yeah, so we're right here at the hotel, and they said that they're catching carp, and it's a delicacy in Europe, right?
I mean, not delicacy, just regular fish that they eat. I think majority of the Americans, they don't appreciate this fish because it's so many bones, and because they feed from the bottom, we consider it dirty fish.
So are you from Europe?
I'm from Ukraine originally, so every year when we have timeshare, we come in here, and we enjoy fishing. And I have to deal with cleaning.
Are you gonna eat that?
We're gonna cook it.
Okay.
With all of the seasonings.
Awesome.
So many different fish, exist, but this one really childhood memories.
I've noticed that Americans, they don't appreciate carp like you guys do over there. So
if you look at any store, the main ingredient carp. You just need to know if you really want to know.
Yeah.
If you just want to eat, it doesn't really matter.
So that was interesting. We met a couple from Ukraine. And they're out here fishing, having a good time. They actually live in LA now, and they're out here on vacation. He was going after crawdads, trout, carp, whatever he can get. Foreigners, they love those carp. One of these days we're gonna do a catch and cook on carp. You love museums, don't you?
Yeah, sometimes they're pretty cool. It's always cool to stop at the places you're at, visiting wise, and see the history of it.
So here's a walk around map of what they have here in the museum. Let's go take a look.
So that's something pretty cool they're doing here at this museum is they have a whole blacksmith area set up. And they're showing you how they used to make stuff, and they're making these in the background while she's telling you everything about the history on the blacksmithing in the area. And it's an old peanut butter knife, a little handle. It's pretty neat. You can see them in action heating up the metal, and this was made out of an old nail. So it won't be a nail again, but now it's repurposed.
We'll cut some peanut butter with that when we get home.
Yep.
So these are the original gold pans. Look at these things. This is what an old gold mining camp would look like. They just had all their stuff laid out, and they were out here living, chasing that dream of getting gold. They got some pretty nice restrooms in here. That safe right there is from when COVID was happening. The toilet paper had to be locked in there. So this is one of the old sluice boxes. They put water, the water would run down, and the gold should stay in there and wash away all the dirt. This is an old setup. So out here in Big Bear, it snows so much that they didn't really have horse and carriage. They had horses and sleighs.
So this would be like her high school graduation project, you know?
In the early 1900s, this is what they were filming YouTube videos with. This picture is interesting to me. As you can see, this is a very old picture of here. You have all the people that were migrating to this area, and then you have the Native American families that were still in this area. Some interesting stuff here. Well, I'm looking at this old fishing pole. My father-in-law has one just like that. Look at all these old boat motors. 1930s. These are really old. It says 1915. Tiny little props on them. So if your family was here in the early 1900s, this is what a place would look like. So first of all, it's a cabin style. So to live out here, it was hard work. Making your clothes, gathering your food. There wasn't stores that you could just go stop in at. So that's what dinner would look like. And here was the outhouse. So you do your business. One's for number 2, one's for number 1. Either that or a husband and wife together right there. So I'm going into the old schoolhouse. I noticed these rules from 1915. Can't get married, can't talk to boys, can't color your hair, can't smoke cigarettes. What'd you see here? A homework assignment?
From 1914.
Math.
And it's funny because it's teaching him about money.
That's all we need to learn about is money. I don't know what all this pie and all this other stuff is.
Yep.
So that was a quick little view at the museum out here. We just kind of like to know the local information. Now let's go do some other stuff. Look around. Public restrooms around here. Perfect. Got nothing but good things to say about this place. Big Bear Lake, you ready?
Yeah.
First time out here.
Yeah, everyone says there's bass. They said there's not very big bass, but there's bass. There's supposedly big catfish, big trout, crappie, bluegill. So we'll see. We're gonna have a mixed bag today, hopefully.
Been wanting to come out here for years. Kind of disappointed I didn't learn about this place before. It's at full capacity, so everybody's excited. The fish are biting. Let's go take a closer look, see what we can do here. Some of you guys may ask, what are they using? We're gonna be trying crawls. We're gonna be trying all little finesse things. These little guys, they're like little scorpion-looking things. Of course, we're gonna try some netties, little swim baits. Smallmouth just absolutely hate chartreuse, and we're trying a lot of different things.
Dang, big old trout just jumped. You see him? That was like a 4-pound trout.
Yeah, they're jumping.
It was about time for some new scenery. This place suffers a lot of fluctuating water levels, and the water is the highest it's been in a very long time right now. So
We asked a lot of people about the bass fishing. There's not a whole lot of bass fishermen or bass fishing going on from what we've heard. Maybe they're just not putting it on social media. So today we're gonna figure it out. You know, Adrian, he's gonna come out here, and if the bass are here, we're gonna get them. It's about 80 degrees. Water temperature's what?
about 70.
Water temperature 70.
69 to 70.
We're thinking 15, 20 feet deep. Drop some plastics on their head.
And catch some fish. Yeah, so there's not a lot of information on the fishing here in general. There's not a lot of YouTube videos, not a lot of just stuff in general. So we're kind of coming in blind. One thing that I have heard this place is legendary for is its trout fishing. So if we manage to catch a couple big trout, then we'll do a nice good old catch and cook on some of them. So this should get really interesting really fast, and we'll see.
Look at that place up there. If you can see on their patio, there's a massive rock they just built around it.
There's a fish. Right there's the island they call Treasure Island. It's pretty interesting. You got a little bridge. And it is hot out here for this place. The water's about 70 degrees, which for out here, it's extremely hot. This area gets cold and stays cold most of the year. An example of it is over by the dam, there's a lot of dead trout. Now every year, in a lot of trout lakes, they have big die-offs of trout. The water gets a little bit too warm in some of the areas, and obviously some of the trout don't make it. I'm borderline getting a sunburn out here right now. It's warm. How hot do you say it is right now?
85.
Probably 85 degrees.
Yeah, it's about 85.
So it's a warm day. With the higher elevation, we're technically closer to the sun, so the sun will almost feel as if it's hotter. And a lot of these real old buildings are still standing from like the 1800s and stuff when they were out here gold mining, coal mining, whatever they were mining for out here at the time. So this whole place is loaded with a bunch of history.
This is a first for me. Freshwater lake. This is usually something you see in the ocean being caught.
Looks like a goby or something. I don't know if you guys know what kind of fish this is. Comment it down in the comments below.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, tell us what kind of fish that is, because we've never caught one in freshwater.
There you went. Let's go, baby. Got her done. We're gonna keep a couple, put them in the live well, take a couple pictures. Wow, that was cool.
Feels like a good one. They do fight a lot heavier than the ones I need. It's probably the cold water. That's a good one right there. So I think they say the lake record here is only 4 pounds. At this rate, I wouldn't doubt if we got a chance at beating it.
Where am I?
That's a little football right there. So that is a smallmouth bass. You can see how small his mouth is. Tiny little guy. Same fish we catch at Lake Mead and stuff. I'll give him about 2.5 pounds.
Biggest one of the day so far.
We'd be breaking 4 pounds, but they're just skinny. That's a long fish right there. Real long fish. 2.4. We'll call them 2.4. They're real skinny, but they're healthy looking fish. These are some of the first fish we caught. There's no need in keeping them in our live well for too long, so we're gonna go ahead and start letting them go. See when this fish is ready to go. Some of them they're kind of tired, so
That'll be all right.
there he goes. Let's get a couple more. Here's another one. They're all about the same size. Let them go, let them grow.
That's a big one.
That was a long one right there. I was the smallest one.
Oh.
And the hyperest one.
So quick update for you guys. Back there was a bunch of docks. We've just been going along fishing those docks, and there's bass everywhere. There's no shortage of bass, so maybe just people are out here fishing for trout and they don't really target the bass, because this is some of the best bass fishing I've had. We've already caught 7 or 8 2 to 3 pounders. So there's some fatties. We only caught 2 that were like 6 inches, very small ones. So there's a lot more big ones than small ones, I think. We're gonna move and try to fish a little bit deeper to catch some trout so we can cook them up. Love trout, some of my favorite fish. When you come out, just use small plastics that sink slow under these docks, and just like anywhere else, they're biting. It wasn't difficult at all to get on some. So if you're out here targeting bass in the summer, it's perfect.
Is he on bottom?
Yeah, it went all the way to the left. There it is, baby. So they were saying this isn't a bass lake. They're here. Beautiful.
I think the lake record, they say 4 pounds small. Got him! This is what we're gonna catch and cook. Well, we killed him. So this right here is exactly what we're gonna catch and cook. A nice. Oh, that sucks. I've never had such a hard time holding a fish in my life. This right here is exactly what we're gonna catch and cook. We actually saw this trout sitting right on the edge of one of these docks, and I cast to him, and sure enough he chased it and bit it, and I caught him. And he's definitely making me work to catch him. So we're gonna wet him, bleed him, throw him on ice, and then we're gonna work to see. Film these coming by, look at this.
It's been a beautiful day out here, nice and cool. Caught a bunch of bass. Adrian caught a couple trout. He was using a little netty or something. They're nice ones too.
So now that they're bled, we like to get our ice bags here so it doesn't smell like our ice chest. Put them in there and cover them up in ice. So these are 2 bycatch. Tomorrow we're gonna come out and try to catch these and get quite a bit more so that we have a nice little meal, because right now we only got 2. We need to stop at the store really quick to get some supplies for our little catch and cook. So let's go see what they're selling. We're gonna have to buy some ingredients.
So we're doing the real simple butter wrapped in foil, right?
Yeah. Just what we always like to do. Tried and true, can't go wrong with it. A little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, pepper, maybe some garlic powder, onions, tomatoes, and
Yeah,
throw it over a flame.
we brought charcoal and all that, but you can't have charcoal up here in these hills.
Yeah.
We got to use the grills at the place we're staying at. Yeah. So this is the catch and cook portion. We got a couple trout while we're out there. Adrian's gonna demonstrate how he's filleting these things.
These are very nice, beautiful rainbow trout, as you can see, and they're really healthy. You can see one that I already filleted. Look at how beautifully colored that meat is. So I always go behind that fin, behind that gill plate to the backbone, and trout have thin bones, so it's very easy to turn and follow that rib cage. You just want to follow that spine, be careful not to cut through it, and just follow through till you're through. And as you can see right there, we have a beautiful fillet.
So same thing on the other side.
Exact same thing on the other side. This one's barely got any ribs in it, but you just take your knife and you barely go under those ribs and angle it towards you. Be careful not to cut your hand. When you're under these ribs, you should be good. And you just pull your knife up towards the ribs as you're cutting. Now usually when you get to about this point on a trout, cut that belly a little bit. Just like that.
So people are gonna ask, why did you keep the trout and not the bass?
The bass is like a game fish everyone likes to target and catch and release. So I always release them so that the next time we come by we can catch them and they get bigger and bigger. And if for whatever chance we ever come to fish a bass tournament, maybe that fish I let go today will bite my hook that day and win me some money. But right here you can see a boneless, well not fully boneless, trout fillet. We leave the skin on, you don't need to take the skin off. The only last piece of bones are these little pin bones right here, which we don't bother to take out. You can eat around them, but you can hear my knife clicking on them. There's a little row of pin bones in trout and salmon. You could take them out with tweezers if you want, but on these little guys, we just eat around them. If you want a truly boneless fillet, that's what you'd have to do. So as far as the other side goes, it's the exact same process. Right under the ribs, and you'll take that rib bone out without wasting a lot of meat. So one reason why our fillets look good, every time we catch fish right away, we go ahead and bleed them. So you just cut the gills, and then you let them bleed out in the water or in a live well for a little bit. And then once they're what you think is fully bled out, you go ahead and take them and throw them immediately right on an ice. An ice slush usually will work even better. And then when you get home, go ahead and fillet them.
So we like to be informational with our videos. Here's how we started to make the little bowl of foil that we're gonna cook them in. Got a piece about 3.5 feet long. We're gonna fold in half right in the middle. Okay, so this is it folded in half. I press it down just to show it. We're gonna put the fish on there so we know what size we need to fold the bowl to. I'm gonna go around this front half and fold it up. So notice 1/2 inch of crimped edges. That's gonna keep the juices in. It's all about the juices. And then right here, now halfway through this, is gonna be another fold, and this is gonna fold over, and that's what's gonna keep it steamed inside.
So we're at the store, we're looking for ingredients. This one we found actually had like everything already in it that we need. It has garlic and onion, black pepper, and sea salt. So I've never tried it, but hey, we're always down to try a new seasoning. This is made to season pretty heavily. So that says it has sea salt in it, but we didn't really taste any salt at all in it. So we're gonna get a little bit of just this table salt. Sprinkle a little bit over too, just so you have a little bit of salt in there. So all we're adding to this is onions, tomatoes, and lemon. So the most important thing about this is not only your lemons, is your butter. If you throw it on the heat just like this, it'll dry up and catch on fire, and everybody will laugh at you because you burned a meal. So make sure you don't hold back on the butter, and that'll be what kind of sautés it and cooks it and gives it a little bit of moisture to cook in.
And that's why we have that little lip right there. Keep all that butter.
So all this is gonna melt over your fish fillets and your vegetables, and then pull up under and steam back up over your fish. All right, we got it all set up right here. Now we like to use a whole piece so our steam doesn't escape. Go ahead and get it real close to your fish, just like this, and then wrap it.
So we're gonna take this down, and we're gonna do it on the public grills.
Just like that, we got a care package of dinner.
So we're staying at Lagunita. Is that the name of it? Lagunita.
It is Lagunita.
Look at this beautiful view over here. So they do have public grills that are gas, and they don't do charcoal out here. Usually when we go places they do charcoal, but it's understandable because all these trees around here don't want to start a fire. Hopefully the propane works. All right, we're good.
I'm gonna put it right here. Now we just wait. Say maybe 10, 12 minutes, maybe 15 if your fire's not super hot. We'll just check on it every 5 minutes or so. Look at the view though, huh? It's so weird right now. We're gonna eat something that less than 24 hours ago was swimming in these waters, and I can really see where I caught it from right here. Know where it was born, know what it ate, know how it was caught, know how it was handled, and know how it ended up right here.
Exactly. Hey, what do you got on there?
Hey. What's in my cup, so my cup was in your knife.
We never show her, but that's my beautiful wife. And we're out here. Girls are right there, taking it easy.
She's waiting to eat some trout here in a second.
She'll join us every once in a while. But a lot of people don't like to be there as much as we do. Sun up to sundown. Think she's done?
I don't know, but we'll check. I can hear it sizzling. It's been at 400 degrees for a little.
Oh, if it's sizzling, oh yeah.
So I'm gonna turn it off. Hear it sizzling?
Oh yeah, it's sizzling in there. There we go.
Got a little.
Did we have a leak?
A
We
little
sprung a leak.
Yeah, but that's probably just it bubbling over the edges, which is normal. That means it was hot in there. It's probably done. Here we go. Moment of truth. It smells absolutely amazing.
Oh wow.
Here it is. As you can see, if you go ahead and roll over all your vegetables that you're going to be enjoying with the fish, we've got just a nice, hopefully flaky rainbow trout. Let's see. Looks flaky.
Oh yeah, it's
done.
flaky.
Cheers, folks. Hopefully I'm not making you too hungry at the house or wherever you're watching this video from, on your lunch break or whatever, but we're gonna go ahead and give this a taste.
Was it hot?
It's warm though. That right there, it's a different seasoning. I gotta tell you, that is bomb.
First taste test for me. That's pretty good.
Delicious or no?
Deliciousness. It's great.
Perfect. Look at
I like
that stuff.
seasoning too.
You like the seasoning?
Mm-hmm.
We got Miss Montero right here. What do you want to call her?
She's usually not in our videos, but as you can see, Rural Forces, she's my biggest fan. We're gonna do the taste test. Buttered up trout.
It's really good.
It's really good.
I love fish. I love trout.
She loves fish, she loves trout, so that's she's kind of biased. What do you think?
I think it's fantastic, especially when it's still warm.
I'll tell him if it sucks. I will tell him.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys remember when we were cooking those tamales on the javelina? This is the lady behind the scenes you guys saw.
We never show her, and you probably won't see her again in many videos, but
The magician with the cook. But this meal right here is about as healthy as it gets right here. We used unsalted butter, which I personally think is better than a lot of different oils that some people are using. We got nothing but vegetables and fish that is wild, grown out of this, and ate nothing but what's naturally occurring in the lake. So pretty much as healthy as it gets. So completely healthy dinner right here, and our buddies are gonna be thanking us for eating what we caught tonight. That's for sure.
This is for Juju with the onions.
for Juju.
Because he just loves onions.
Yeah, she took Juju's spot for the taste test. But what a blessing. Absolutely amazing meal. And we're out here enjoying our time. Anybody can come out here and do this. It's only 3.5 hours from Vegas, a few hours from LA. Up here in the mountains, the weather is beautiful. You can't beat it. That was good.
It's all eaten.
Look at this fly. He even wants some. Get out of here.
So I don't see people cook like this very often. It is seriously one of my favorite ways to cook fish, and that's why I do it all the time. This meal, 10 out of 10, absolutely amazing. If I got this in a restaurant, I'd be extremely happy. They'd be getting great ratings from me. All you gotta do for cleanup, just wrap it up and trash it. And there you go. All said and done. Little bullhead. This looks like a little yellow bullhead catfish. We have some of these in some of our lakes in Nevada. Some of the small ponds also. They're always fun to catch, a little easy to catch and stuff. We decided to sit out on the pier and watch the sunset. So you can see right behind us.
Even behind you, it's like a pink hue.
Yeah. I can't believe
That could be from the smoke from
That's true.
Isabella and all that right there.
The big fives. That's probably what it is, the pink hue. But I can't believe I've never heard of this place. It's only 3.5 hours from Las Vegas. I drive a lot farther to go to a lot different places that might not be as beautiful, might not have as good of fishing and whatnot, just to travel, you know. I can't believe I've never been here. We're gonna let this little guy go. They don't get much bigger than this, so, you know, some people, oh, that's small in a yellow bullhead world. These get over a pound, they're humongous. So, here we go. Took off, huh? Look, I still got my bait too, so we're cooking. We're cooking. What's funny is everyone on the piers, we're sitting about 15 to 18 feet right here straight down. Everybody's casting as far as they can. When we were on the boat, we were grabbing most of our fish at about 15, 18 feet. So, you know what I'm doing? Backwards. They're all small out here. Little tiny channel catfish. This isn't that yellow bullhead. This is a tiny channel. That'd be cool in an aquarium, huh?
Yeah, it would.
These guys got barbs like no tomorrow. So with these little guys, you gotta be careful. So we're gonna throw this guy back quick before he stabs me up. But here we go.
So I'm out here in Big Bear at a museum that's out here, and I thought it was interesting. I found this little piece of information that barbers, doctors, dentists, they all have something in common. Check this out. Let's go get this information.
A barber pole, being outside, let non-readers know what to expect when they went into the shop. Red, medical, a doctor. White, barber. The leech bowl on top, so you knew that if you needed leeches for an open wound, he could help you with that. Barber pole in here is red, blue, and white, and that meant he could do dentistry as well. And again, for non-readers, they knew before they entered if they needed some teeth work that this barber could help them.
So dentistry, he could cut your hair, and he was a doctor. So this is what an old saloon would look like here. And there's the individual we're talking about. Get a haircut. He's a doctor and a dentist, whatever you needed done.